Every year, first-person shooter become bigger and more insane, and because of the competition, many companies opt to launch their titles as free-to-play games. A quick disclaimer, this list does not feature any battle royale games. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, it is Gromo, and today we have a list of the best new free-to-play FPS games of 2021. And before we get into it, make sure to join the channel and subscribe, maybe leave a like and a nice comment down below, it will help me a lot. Anyways, without further ado, number 10 is Caliber. Caliber is a free-to-play, fast-paced shooter that combines first-person and third-person shooter gameplay in PvP and PvE mods, which include different classes of players from medic, assault, support and recon, and they have to work with each other as a team to take out other opponents and win matches to gain points and upgrade their weapons and character. Every character class has its own perks and limitations, as some players have a lot of ammo but aren't mobile, and some others work well at long ranges but struggle at close ones. And players have to know the strengths and weaknesses of their fighter in order to gain the edge and win battles. Caliber has some really good realistic graphics and also a smooth and fun competitive gameplay. Coming next, number 9 is Diabotical. Diabotical is a multiplayer-only first-person shooter game released in September 2020 by the Swedish developer GD Studio on a collaboration with Epic Games, the creators of Fortnite, and it belongs to the arena FPS genre and has gameplay that is similar to the Quake franchise, with diversity of game mods such as Aim Arena, 2v2s, Wipeout, and many other more. The game also features different weapons to use in battle, different maps, and a dynamic, fast-paced movement. Next, coming to number 8, is Valorant. Valorant is a free-to-play, first-person hero shooter game created by Riot Games. In the primary game mode, players take on the role of one of several agents. Players are assigned to either attack or defend their teammates, with each team consisting of 5 players. Agents have distinct powers that typically need charging, as well as distinct ultimate abilities that require charging through kills, deaths, orbs, or spike actions. On each round, each player begins with a classic pistol and one or more signature ability charges. Other weapons and ability charges may be bought through an in-game ecosystem that awards money based on the previous round's outcome, including any kills or actions the player is involved in. The game includes a variety of weaponry, including secondary weapons and primary weapons such as submachine guns, shotguns, machine guns, assault rifles, and sniper rifles. There are automatic and semi-automatic weapons, each with its own fire pattern that the player must control in order to shoot accurately. Next, number 7 is ExoMecha. ExoMecha is a very interesting free-to-play online competitive first-person shooter game by Twisted Dread. They describe their game as the next generation of online shooter games. The game looks interesting, but we'll see about that bold claim in the future when the game releases. Other than that, the developers promise boss fights with dragons and Autobots or something. I can't wrap my head around those boss fights in a fast-paced competitive shooter game, but I'm excited to see how that will work out. The game is coming in August 2021 for PC, Xbox One, X and S, and hopefully it's not a scam. If it is, I've called it here first. Next, number 6 is The Cycle. The Cycle is a free first-person shooter game with player versus player and player versus environment elements, where you have to survive the harsh environment in a place called Fortuna 3, and also fight other player enemies in a competitive quest shooter which offers a unique gameplay. The game also features crafting and creating custom loadouts to fit the player's playstyle with different skins and modifications to the player and weapons. The game is really solid. I've already talked about it in the previous video when it was exclusive only on Epic Games Store, but now The Cycle will be available on Steam sometime in the near future for free, and that will give it more exposure to a wider range of new players. Next game, number 5, is Projekt Z. Projekt Z is an atmospheric first-person zombie co-op shooter game set in a war between people and zombies. In the game, you get to play as different characters who have very different abilities, and your goal is to progress in the game story and pass missions to find out more about the secrets of the island you crashed on in the beginning of the game. Missions belong to a story arc and can influence each other depending on the order in which you can do them. Besides the story mode, the game features a wave survival mode. In this mod, you have to fight for your life, kill endless waves of zombies and upgrade your weapons and level up your character in every round. Next, number 4 is Enlisted. Enlisted is a squad-based online first-person shooter game. In this game, you can control squads of soldiers or tank crew, then fight in one of many high-graphic detailed maps. This game was developed by Darkflow Software, the same people who were behind Cursed aka Cuisine Royale. And this game was quite a massive step up from that game in my opinion, and is quite amazing with what they have done. The movement is accurately portrayed with really good scenery and map design, as well as weapon play, which is fair and balanced. And the best thing about this game is the realistic graphics. And for that, Enlisted deserves the number 4 spot on this year's list. And now, before we get to the top 3 games of this year, let me mention some bonus games. The first one is Operation Harsh Doorstep, a completely free FPS game that is still in development and planned to be released later this year or early next year. Rogue Company, a new free-to-play competitive shooter game, but it's a third-person shooter game. If you like TPS, this game is solid with really good gunplay and mechanics. And finally, Splitgate, a first-person shooter Portal game. It is like a combination of Halo and Portal merged in one game, and also it's completely free-to-play. Now back to our main list. Number 3 is 9 to 5. 9 to 5 is an upcoming free-to-play 3v3v3 team tactical first-person shooter set in the future where corporations rule the world. In 9 to 5, 3 teams of 3 engage in battles with changing objectives that constantly shift the dynamics during each match to keep everyone on their toes. With 3 phases, your actions and decisions have consequences during and even after each shift. Players have to work with each other in order to win. Players have to learn to adapt their tactics and set up to win, based on the opposition and the changing objectives. Next, number 2 is XDefiant. XDefiant is a first-person multiplayer shooter game by Ubisoft. The game will put teams of 6 characters called Defiants against each other across several game modes. There is a focus on gunplay, though you'll be able to use special abilities based on your in-game character. In the game, you can customize your Defiance loadouts and you will be able to modify your setup when you respond to help you adjust to what's happening in the match. It sounds like there will be ways for both casual and competitive players to get the most out of this game. And finally, number 1 is Halo Infinite multiplayer. Halo Infinite is a massively anticipated title for FPS fans, and Halo Infinite multiplayer will be free to play. And that will open Halo to a massive new audience that did not have access to it before. The multiplayer will launch simultaneously with the campaign, exactly like what Activision did with Call of Duty and Warzone. And because that was a huge success, I think more and more games will follow the same format in the future. Anyways, Halo Infinite multiplayer will launch in the few next weeks on PC, Xbox One S and X for absolutely free. And that's it for today. If you want to support our work, subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate it. And as always, stay home, stay safe, play games, and peace out.